I just want to introduce myself. My name is Christine Muchagrosso. I'm the SVP of Revenue here at PhotoShelter. And I'm very excited to be joined by Monica Smitchek, our newish VP of Product. Welcome, Monica.
Thanks so much, Christine. Hi, everyone. It's good
Great.
to be here with you all today.
So for the next 10 minutes or so, I'd love to pick your brain, Monica, on the future trends in particularly workflow and how PhotoShelter for brands will be playing a part in those trends.
Sure, sounds good.
So the first topic that I'd like to talk about is really the increased need for time savings and efficiency and the role that machine learning and artificial intelligence plays into that. And what are some of the measures that we're taking to stay ahead of the curve?
Sure. So first off, artificial intelligence is a huge time saver in the world of DAM. And right now, I would say the biggest impact of AI is on tagging content with metadata. So inside of your DAM, metadata is really important because without it, your content isn't searchable. And if your content isn't searchable, then it's not discoverable and it's therefore not really usable. So, adding metadata manually is painful, it's time consuming, especially if you're in a situation where you've got thousands of images coming in at a time. So this is in large part why we launched PhotoShelter AI. So it solves this sort of painful problem by speeding up your workflow, automating your tagging, and just helping you get your content out into the world faster. So we run images through various AI products. We have a product that can detect general objects, so like a helmet or a koala in your photos, and then apply the tags. We also have an AI product that does facial recognition. We have one that reads brand marks and text and then applies the correct tags to your photos. In that scenario, we even have a specialized one for athletes that does player recognition based on the jersey number in the face. So it's really powerful. It saves a ton of time. And again, it just helps your team focus on the more creative and impactful parts of their job. That said, I think, that's sort of step one. There's a lot more that AI can do, especially in the context of digital asset management. You can transcribe video to add captions. You can, pull out tags and search keywords out of video and audio content. You can make recommendations on, how content will perform in certain campaigns based on past performance. So I really think we've just taken like the first few steps into this, into the impact that AI can have on creative workflow.
The whole concept is incredibly fascinating to me, and I can attest that from a customer perspective, those customers of PhotoShelter for brands that have implemented our AI tools and applications have really seen a tremendous ROI, and really they have claimed it's a game changer. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how far we can take it on that front. The second area that I thought we might talk about is the growing need for mobility and better collaboration in this increasingly remote world. Um, you know, we saw the need during COVID, and I think we can all attest that it's fundamentally changed, and it probably will never go back to the way we once knew it. What is PhotoShelter doing to better enable that collaboration?
Sure, absolutely. I agree with you that there's a lot of indicators, and the panelists in the earlier session were talking about this as well. There's not going to be the shift back to normal. There is going to be a new normal where remote work is at least going to be partially permanent to a certain extent, beyond COVID. And I think a huge must there is being able to access your tools from a variety of platforms. So whether that's, a web browser or a mobile app or a desktop experience, really having a, fluent and comprehensive experience. So that is that's a big investment that we're making as a company as well. To your point about collaboration, that's also huge. Before times, you could pull some colleagues together into a conference room and have a discussion. You
Right.
could walk up to someone's desk, but really that type of contact is hard to recreate virtually, but we need to think about how do you create those virtual collaborative spaces where you can have the quick conversation, or get the information that you need and the right people together to make a decision like you would if you were in person. And that informed a lot of our thinking when we built our Workspaces product. So Workspaces is a tool that allows your teams to collaborate on assets in real time without leaving PhotoShelter. So it's really powerful. You can curate content together into a workspace. You can have your team members comment on it. You can approve it. There's a lot you can do within this container, and it's really powerful. Sarah Matheson described earlier how Hungry Harry's uses it. And examples from other customers on how they use Workspaces are, for instance, a place to initially store photos and then go through them, approve them, and move them into like more permanent storage in the library. If you have freelancers working for your company and you don't necessarily want to give them full access to your content, you can create a workspace and collaborate with your freelance designer within that workspace. You can also use Workspaces to manage your assets throughout the life cycle of a marketing or other creative campaign. So it's a really useful and powerful container for a lot of different use cases. And again, the main reason behind Workspaces is to foster that collaboration.
Yeah, Workspaces, for the context of our viewers, is just about a year old, maybe a little bit less than a year old, and the growth of the number of workspaces has just completely taken a hockey stick of a growth trajectory. So it's really exciting to see all of our customers and like the number of workspaces being created. So it's really been a very positive trend towards that collaborative trend. Um, the third area that I'd like to talk about with you is the movement towards integrations and the desire to have one centralized platform, or the assistance of like a frictionless experience, right? So ideally, we want to create a user experience where the customer can remain in their native environment, but still access the multiple software systems that they need to in order to do their job efficiently. What is our strategy around integrations? Maybe you can share with our viewers some detail around that.
Absolutely. So, there's a lot of investment being made into content. Brands are investing in their photography, their video, their design, and they're sharing this content across a lot of different platforms. They're using a lot of different tools to manage and distribute. And the way that we think about integrations is integrations are essentially weaving together these tools into a single seamless experience. So, you know, on PhotoShelter for Brands, we're building a platform that essentially seeks to be the central nervous system for that creative workflow. So we're networking together our DAM with your CMS or your email marketing tool or your social channels. And we really want to be that central place where you go to tell your brand story. So I can give you a couple of examples, where we've sort of invested in those integrations and why. So on the ingest side of your workflow, so when you first sign on or when you want to bring files into your PhotoShelter account, we've integrated with storage tools like Box, Dropbox, Google Drive, so you can easily import your content from those platforms into your PhotoShelter account. And if you need to, keep them synced between the two, so you don't have to download and re-upload. It's really just a seamless moving from one platform to another. And then more on the distribution side, we know that you're sharing a lot of the content that you store within PhotoShelter out onto a CMS so you can share it on your website. And so we've got a really powerful WordPress integration that also lets you easily move that content onto your website, automatically resize it so it displays it displays in the best possible way. And again, it removes the need for downloading and then re-uploading into another tool. Similarly, we've also got social media integrations because we know a lot of that content is shared across social. So we have a number of powerful integrations, including Hootsuite, that also allow you to share out that content seamlessly. And again, going back to the sort of why here, we know our customers are using a lot of different tools within their workflows. And so we really want to think strategically about how we knit those experiences together and how we just make the overall workflow as fast and easy as possible, not just, what you're experiencing within PhotoShelter, but also on the other platforms that you're using.
Yeah, this is definitely one area of development that I'm very excited to see unfold. You know, I think the more spokes to that hub and spoke model that we can continue to add will just continue to add value to our customers. So that's like an exciting area of development for my perspective. I want to be mindful of the time. So I guess the last question that I'll ask is any secret workflow weapons under the hood in product development land?
Always. But two, I'm very excited to share, and I will be brief. So two things I'm really excited about. One is building out even more powerful workflow automation. We've seen how automation can really supercharge the real-time workflow of brands like Premier Lacrosse League, and we have a brilliant R&D team that is doing a lot of research and experimentation and really awesome building to bring even more automation to, the overall creative workflow within our platform. So I'm really excited, to be sharing that out with our customers soon. And the second thing is just bringing more data insights to our customers. So not just how are, the folks that within your PhotoShelter account using PhotoShelter, but really providing actionable data on which you can make decisions. So understanding how your content is performing, understanding the ROI around each asset, and even making recommendations, this type of content tends to perform well on this channel. Here's some more content that you have in your account that's like this. I mean, there's so much possibility here, and we're obviously, starting to take steps in this direction, but I'm really, really excited for what we can do with data and what our customers will be able to do with that data.
I am too, as the resident data geek. I love looking at reports about ROI and being able to prove that back to the value of our system. So I can't wait for that. I just, it's just about time to wrap up. I just wanted to thank you for your time and the opportunity to share with our viewers a little bit of the amazing things that we're doing here at PhotoShelter to improve upon our user experience and our workflow.
Thanks so much, Christine. Thanks, everyone.